This spring, Tracy Ann Smith and her sixth grade students redesigned the physical space of their classroom to reflect student input and to facilitate a learner-centered environment. They chose furniture that would support student learning styles as well as instructional outcomes and organized materials based on student needs.
These were kind of invented because we've got a space where kids are moving around, and sometimes they're moving around more than once in a class period. And rather than trying to have kids manage their books all the way around, or worse, leave them to then have kids trip over them or fall over them, just decided it was easier to get them out of the way. So they can go back and get something if they've forgotten, as long as I'm not in direct instruction. They can go back and get what they need. But that way, at the beginning and the end of class, they're putting it there, they're getting it out of the way, and we've got more floor space, more table space to work, and we're not worrying about messing up people's stuff. So the cubbies are assigned, each student has a cubby that they're assigned to, and at the very beginning of the school year, or at the beginning of our using it, they were giving a cubby number, and we actually kind of went through the process of how do we come in and put our books away and put them in the correct cubby, and what do we do if there's no room in the cubby and we've got a string bag that doesn't fit, so that they could go through that process and work that out. Since we started mid-year, it wasn't the beginning of the school year time, but I had to go back and reteach that routine. Next year, when I've got brand new sixth graders, we'll start that on the very first day of school, talking about what their cubby assignments are and sort of letting them problem solve. Okay, well, what do you do if everybody's stuff doesn't fit in that cubby? There are extra spaces, and if push comes to shove, they put their string bags on the top and keep their books in the bins.
In addition to the furniture, Mrs. Smith and her students select student work that serves as learning platforms for daily lessons and that can be utilized by students throughout any given unit.
So the charts that you saw were created as part of an ending activity based around some research that the students did. They were given a choice of 5 claims, and they were allowed to choose whichever claim they wanted to research. They did that research, and then the task that they had together as a group of folks who'd chosen that claim was to figure out what evidence they found that supported their claim and what evidence they found that really supported the counterclaim. The exit ticket was then to look at any claim, either the one they did or another one if they liked it better, and talk about how the evidence they found supported the claim, or how the evidence they found actually supported the counterclaim. So it was a little bit of an exercise in argument and argument writing, but a different spin. The posters were created so that A, there was evidence of that work up on the wall, B, they could all use the materials created by everyone for their own assignment, and C, for the additional writing that we have to do related to claims, so that there's something that they can look at and see claim versus counterclaim, and using those details to support the decision that they make.